Hi, my name is Zachary Henderson, and I am going to present the research project of exploring the gap on autism in children of color and genetic factors. This study intends to help close the gap in previous studies on autism and genetics, which has primarily focused on white people. The study will use a non-experimental research approach and use both interval data such as genetic screening findings and nominal data, such as autism diagnosis, data collection from around 100 youngsters with a range of ethnic and cultural origins is the aim. The study will employ test, retest procedures and examine internal consistency across many genetic markers to ensure the results are trustworthy. So, studies involving ancestrally varied families have revealed new genetic variants that advance our understandings of ASD. These findings highlight the importance of inclusion in research for both scientific correctness and equality. Adolescence is a special development stage when social influences and biological changes interact in intricate ways. However, a lot of research on ASD has concentrated on early childhood, generally ignoring teenagers, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds. Comprehending the ways in which genetic variables impact ASD during adolescence might enhance diagnosis, treatment, and long-term results. So, for the data that I got for the study, 100 youngsters between the ages of 13 and 19 will be enlisted. Purpose of sampling will be used to choose participants in order to ensure representation from a variety of racial and ethnic groups, including Black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, and mixed kids. About 50% of participants will have verified diagnosis of ASD, whilst half will not. The study's independent variable is the existence of certain genetic markers associated with ASD, such as CAC-NAC, FMR1, CHD8, and DDX53. To find these indicators, saliva sample DNA will be examined in a laboratory. Conceptually, genetic markers are gene sequences that may increase an individual's likelihood of developing autism spectrum disease. Exome sequencing will be used to operationally evaluate these markers in order to ascertain to presence or absence of targeted gene variants. It is anticipated that the study would discover a significant correlation between the existence of autism spectrum disorders in teenagers and specific genetic markers, including CAC, NAC, FMR1, CHD8, and DDX53. The significance of varied representation in genetic research is highlighted by the expectation that some genetic variations may manifest at different rates amongst youths of color compared to patterns documented in mostly white populations. Additionally, it is anticipated that the results would show consistent associations across several genetic markers and support the long-term dependability of genetic screening methods overall. Findings probably indicate that the accuracy and generalizability of genetic research on ASD can be enhanced by incorporating racial and ethnically varied groups. Conclusion: despite the fact that autism spectrum disorder is a complicated illness with significant hereditary implications, many racial and ethnic groups have typically been excluded from studies. Disparities in diagnosis, treatment, and scientific knowledge have resulted from this lack of representation. By concentrating on adolescents of color and investigating genetics with variables linked to ASD in a diverse population, this study seeks to address these disparities. The project aims to encourage culture. culturally sensitive treatment, increase diagnostic accuracy, and contribute to a more fair healthcare system by encouraging inclusion in research. Increasing diversity in autism research is a social justice issue as well as a scientific requirement. Better results for people with ASD in all communities and more accurate knowledge would result from ensuring that all groups are represented. And I had a last minute switch on my project, but I just wanted to let you know that I felt like I wanted to really bring something that is kind of important to the table. I probably did not mm, understand the whole way of the assignment, but I feel like this was a well needed social problem that we should definitely figure out. That is a big time. But as that, I appreciate you guys' time and everything, and I hope you guys like this, and I hope you guys understand that it's hard for some people to get this type of treatment. So I feel like I wanted to put my focus more into that. Thank you.